Happy Wednesday to you, and thank you for being a part of the program tonight. I hope it's been a wonderful Wednesday for you. It's been cloudy and overcast, but comfortable. Clouds are hanging tough for a little while longer in your 7-day, but sunshine is on the way, and in fact, it'll be here in its glory full-blown tomorrow, as will the 70s, low, upper, and then mid, kind of in that order. Nobody to forecast in just a few moments. I have to mark today, I honestly, and you will know I'm being honest probably when I say this, think that if it wasn't right around the election or time of the election that it happened, that I may just go right on and literally forget. Sometimes it's been a crazy day here. I can't say it's any happy Wednesday to you all. I hope it's been just that. I'm glad to have you with me spending a bit of the evening on this second day of November. Which brings me to the following acknowledgement. I honestly think that if it didn't happen right around election time, that things get so busy around here and a little chaotic, today falls into that category quite well, that I might forget about it. But I have a reminder, and that being the election, because it was just a day before the election back in 1998 that many of you know the story. I started this program. And today marks 24 years. Very astounding. I think I figured it up loosely the other night when I realized it was approaching. That's give or take 5,500 shows or so that I've done, and that many of you have been here for many of. And I wish to sincerely, as I try to every night, but even more so tonight, thank you so much for allowing me to be here 24 years. Everything goes well and we're all here next year, we'll make a big deal out of it, or at least I will. At least maybe a candle or something to be lit in a cake. Glad to have you with me tonight. I need to say this before I go any further as well. It is, of course, 6 o'clock if you're catching the early show. We have held up the printing of the Sagersville Independent, stopping the presses, if you will, as the old saying goes. Heather, our editor, receiving information, documents, and some details about what appears to be a challenge, a lawsuit challenging the requirements that a Sagersville resident says a candidate has not met. And the intentions are for those documents to be filed tomorrow as such, challenging the legitimacy of that candidate. And to be perfectly honest, that is more or less all the detail that I have at this hour. She is literally in a phone interview with that individual right now. We've held up the printing of the paper, so tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent will have more on that before I can even talk to you about it. And then if things are as we are told, there will be official court proceedings to inform you on, or at least the request thereof, by this time tomorrow. So look for that in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent. Also look for the polls got a lot of attention this time around, the final edition of the election polls. We have spent much of the day, all hands on deck, counting ballots, piles of them. And those will be, of course, represented in tomorrow's edition of the Independent, and a host of other news and important information. So I hope that you indeed have one before I see them. And, of course, I think most everyone knows, and I think we all knew it was coming, a lot of young children, a lot of young adults, and a lot of adults very sick at this time of the year, not from COVID, but from RSV and so many other illnesses. And due to that, McGoffin County schools, of course, closed for tomorrow and Friday, and they already had Monday and Tuesday off for an election break, if you will, so an extended break to try to get students better. I think some schools with attendance rates down in the 60 percentile this week, yesterday and or today, maybe even worse, but definitely, and that's just non-operable situations for any school district. They've held on as long as they can, but hoping to get everyone better. Classes canceled until Wednesday of next week. I have all your headlines, starting with a major economical announcement, as I could only hint to last night, and that's where we'll start next.
Hello, McGoffin County. I'm David Neal Howard, candidate for McGoffin County Sheriff. I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to come into your homes and giving me a few minutes of your valuable time. The Sheriff's Office is much bigger than one person. That is why from day one, I will be seeking out your opinion, your support, and your help, not only in dealing with our drug problems, but in every situation, to make McGoffin County a safer and a better place to live and to raise our families. Being a fourth generation raised here on my family's farm, my roots run deep here in McGoffin County. So does my passion for the people of our town. I'll make you 2 promises. Number 1, I will always treat everyone with fairness and respect. Number 2, I will work day and night to fulfill the duties of the Sheriff's Office. And on November the 8th, I humbly ask you to vote for me, David Neal Howard, as your next McGoffin County Sheriff. May God bless you and your family.
Banking from home or on the go has never been easier and will forever be an important and necessary part of life. And Sagersville National has been and will always be at the forefront of meeting and exceeding your financial needs and giving you the safest and most worry-free online and mobile banking so you can worry about the important things, like what's for dinner. They're there when you need them at the main and branch locations of the Sagersville National Bank. There's just no denying it. Some things you crave all year long, but some of those things you crave even more when the leaves start to change and fall and there's a chill in the air. And our famous fresh-baked chicken pot pies are at the very top of that list. They're a warm, tasty, delicious snack or a meal in its own perfect little box at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented the nation's largest insurance and trucking companies, handling cases involving serious personal injury and death. We know their strategies, how they will defend the case, and what factors drive large settlements. The attorneys at Golden Law Office can use this inside knowledge to ensure your case is handled effectively and aggressively. Hiring Golden Law Office provides you with a strategic advantage. Call Golden Law Office today.
The past 3 years have been like no other time in history. We have had flooding events, ice storms, a 100-year pandemic, emergency service issues, and now we have inflation rising to levels not seen in decades. But in McGoffin County, we don't let adversity get us down. We have steadily moved our county forward, and this is because of you. Because of your faith and trust in me, I have been able to build relationships in Frankfort and in Washington, D.C., placing McGoffin County on the map as an up-and-coming community. Locally, we are continuing to renovate our county-owned buildings, properties, and parks. We now have a state-of-the-art 911 center, and we use every dollar of our road fund to repair and maintain our county roads. But as we all know, there is still so much more work to be done. I pledge to keep pushing for funding to expand water across the county, for economic development, for tourism, and other items to improve our community, as well as continuing to support and honor our local veterans. Again, thank you for your trust and support, and I ask for your vote for another term as Judge Executive so we can keep McGoffin County moving forward.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a new phone, but really don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars up front for it? Appalachian Wireless has a deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage plan. Instead of paying $600 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front and then a few bucks a month more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay. And it's called the Appalachian Advantage because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
If they had to pick a favorite time of the year at the seasonal shop, this would be it. They love fall and Halloween and all the things they bring. It's the perfect place for spooky and cool t-shirts and earrings to match. And the chilly weather has them ready for sweaters, long dresses, sherpas, scarves, and boots, and so much more. It's all here. The women's fall and winter fashion is gorgeous. They have styles for any event or a cozy day at home. And it is not too early to talk about Christmas. It will be here before you know it, and their elves have already started decorating. It's magical. You could be the gingerbread house queen or king at the seasonal shop. And perhaps most importantly, their open house will be November the 7th through the 12th. So mark your calendars and don't forget to join them for their annual Christmas extravaganza. It's just so much to see and experience. And it's only at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville.
Since I've been mayor, the city has built a new garage for the street department to house the equipment that we have invested in. 2 dump trucks, 2 zero-turn mowers, 3 pickups, a salt spreader, snow plow, and so much more when we literally, honest to goodness, had nothing more than a shovel and a weed eater when I took office. After going to a full-time police force for the first time in history, we bought 5 new vehicles for law enforcement and 5 new vehicles for the fire department, including a 24/7 EMS response vehicle to answer all emergency calls in the city. I believe that when you have an emergency, there is no reason someone with the city shouldn't be the first one there, and we are. We have worked so hard and cleaned up and recovered using every cent available, working with FEMA and the state to get back up and rebuild after the tornado, countless floods, and 2 major ice storms. We made Sayersville citizens a top priority with everything we've had. It took years of lobbying, improving ourselves as a responsible city after the previous administration left the waterworks bankrupt and a day away from shutting down, to not just keep our water turned on, but to improve our water quality to now being among the very best in the state. And we have secured over $1.2 million in funding for the water plant and a new water tank to make it all possible. Then there's almost $1.3 million coming in just a few months to improve Restaurant Row. Over $4.2 million for the Ivy Point project starting right now, and the millions spent on the Mountain Parkway expansion that didn't bypass Sayersville as they had intended. All of which took months and years of planning and dedication and collaboration with Frankfurt to become a reality. And perhaps the icing on the cake, the beautification of downtown, the flowers, markers, signage, the groups that we have working together to promote and build our Founders Day and 4th of July celebrations, all of which are unprecedented in Sayersville. And just the overall pride and honor we should all have when we and visitors pass through. My record and my opponent's record stand for themselves, and they are completely opposite. That's why I'm asking, that's why I am imploring that you not just vote for me, but also to not take Sayersville back to where my opponent left it, broke and desperate 11 years ago. That's why it is so important to come out and vote and stand up and say once and for all that Sayersville's had enough of the old self-serving politics of the past. Please come out and vote for your friend Pete Shepard, Mayor of Sayersville. Thank you for listening.
Judge Executive Matt Wireman told us last afternoon that it was coming today, a major announcement, the first of its kind for McGoffin County, what is believed to undoubtedly just be the first of many. As the big job announcements that we hear almost on a daily basis for the Commonwealth, which we are very proud to do regardless of where it is. Well, we finally have one of our own. Emerald Energy is going to now officially be the first to set up shop in the McGoffin County Industrial Park on the Mountain Parkway. About a $1.5 million investment, dozens of jobs, full-time jobs, all on their way. Yes, it's enough to really, it should make us all break out into our happy dance. After today, the governor, Hal Rogers, other state and local officials announcing job growth in McGoffin County. We don't say that very often, certainly not as often as we would like to, but there's been a lot of work along those lines as of late, and this time it's Emerald Energy, an exploration land company who provides right-of-way land acquisition and project management services. They're relocating the company's headquarters to right here in McGoffin County along the recent Mountain Parkway expansion, spending $1.4 million and creating 25 at least full-time jobs in the process, bringing their facilities to what will be a newly constructed home for them at the Gifford Road Industrial Park.
We actually started talking to Emerald Energy in the fall of 2019, before the pandemic, and then that kind of slowed things down for a little while. But they were eager to be here, and we were eager for them to get here. So we've been in discussions and had a lot of preliminary work been going on for the past 2 years.
It could have been possible without a lot of things falling into place, a lot of investment and planning by local county government, and most recently, of course, the $1 million in funding to the McGoffin County Fiscal Court through the Abandoned Mine Land Economic Revitalization Program to construct a build-ready certified site here at the Industrial Park, which they'll do for exactly this project.
Oh, absolutely. The AMLR grant, making this site ready, build ready, played a big factor into this company also wanting to come here. They knew that that was something that was in the works, but we didn't know if we was going to get it or not. The whole application was so that we could get on-site sewer and a few other things, and that's why that grant was written. There are no guarantees of getting it. Fortunate that we did, very fortunate. But they have been here. We've already done site work as far as surveying and getting the dimensions of where they will be located. Where we're standing at right now is a little over a 5-acre tract out of the over 20 acres that we have available. And the owner, one of the things that he really liked about McGoffin County was, the local leadership was involved. The spot was right here beside the Mountain Parkway, and he said when he come off the hill, he envisioned his headquarters being here. And so I know he's went to other places. He's talked to other county judges because we've had those discussions, and they finally selected McGoffin County. We've been working through the Economic Development Cabinet to help get them the incentives and all the things they need to be here. And all those things finally come together here in the past couple of weeks.
And Emerald Energy's owners have already made it clear that they plan to make this a showplace for their company, which will make it a showplace for McGoffin County, and one to continue to attract more business and industry to continue to fill the industrial park.
Knowing what he wants to do here and making this his showplace, I think potential businesses, when they come here looking for a place to locate, we have this Build Ready certification. We've got 15 additional acres that we can do 3 additional tracks, or we can divide into 4s, or however what they need. That should be a big draw for them to see, hey, this place is up and coming, this is where we want to be. And I, as I've said earlier, home runs are great, but base hits win ball games. This is a base hit, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have many more hits coming in the near future.
Still a lot of ground to cover. Right now, though, let's go on over to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar, and a lot to cover there as well. These announcements just in. First of all, the annual Holiday Bazaar and Vendor Fair at the McGoffin County Extension Office is coming up Friday and Saturday, December the 2nd and 3rd, all day long. Vendors is just $25 to set up for 2 days. McGoffin County Homemakers, $15 for 2 days. Vendors stop by the Extension Office to register 349-3216. And Friday, they're having a big soup bean dinner, eat in or carry out for $8. I got a little time, I'll remind you, but mark it down. Call now if you want to be a vendor. Also from the Extension Office, come and join the fun and make your own fresh pine wreath. The Holiday Wreath Workshop is back. This is Tuesday, November the 29th, 10 till 6 at the Extension Office. $15 to register. Call to pre-register for the workshop. It always fills up. They'll provide snacks and all the fun and all the materials. 349-3216. The annual Holiday Wreath Workshop is a wonderfully fun, festive thing to do for anyone or any families. Call them and get in while you can. It will fill up, I promise. 349-3216. Also, around this time of year, country ham orders, the 4-H country ham orders through the Extension Office, they're now taking them. The deadline is December the 10th. Don't wait till then. It's November. Call now. 4-Hers purchasing hams to enter into the Kentucky State Fair will be $60 for 2 hams. Other individuals, it'll be $60 each. All orders must be paid when you place them. All participants will need to plan to be at the Extension Office on Martin Luther King Day. That's Monday the 16th of January for the first curing of your ham. That is another process that is just wonderful in and of itself. I know Dad did it a few years ago and just had a ball, and kids of all ages. It's a learning experience, a tasty one, and a fun one. Call 349-3216. The annual Hometown Christmas in November is coming up November the 12th, 9 to 4 at the high school gym. Local vendors and more. Cakes, candies, clothing, candles, woodwork, wreaths, and more. Vendor spots for this event, $20 a piece. If you want to be a vendor, contact Andrea Parsons, Becky Allen, or Janice. And that must be done by November the 1st. You can also find out more by going to, well, just call them. That's the best. I've got a link there, but call them. That's the best thing to do. And you've got plenty of time. A couple of quick reminders going on to other announcements. The Water into Wine Pantry had their commodity day today. Their next one will be in a couple of weeks on the 16th for Senior Commodity Day. Their regular commodity day, 16th for their next one on Wednesday the 16th, their regular commodity day, and their senior commodity day is going to be Thursday the 17th. I've got that wrong there on the bottom of your screen. I've got a little time to fix it. With that said going on, big pancake breakfast coming up at the Lakefront Church of God this Saturday, 9 till 2, $7 per person. That's pancakes, sausage, eggs, syrup, hash browns. Whew, makes me hungry. 9 to 2, you can eat breakfast and lunch on them. $7 per person. And that again this Saturday at the Lakefront Church of God over on Route 30. Our friends at the Sayersville National Bank need to remind you and let everyone know that they're having to do a major and extensive bank-wide computer system upgrade this weekend. With that, the branch bank will be closed this Saturday, and their telephone banking will be down for Saturday as well. The ATMs and internet banking, it's ATMs at both locations, will be working. You can get your cash there, and you can do your online banking if you need to do so. But telephone banking and the branch bank closed this Saturday for a major computer upgrade, and they thank you for your understanding. Pecans available at the Burning Fork Community Church. Call Alice Turner, 349-2172, or Margaret Arnett, 422-0145. Fresh pecans by the 1 pound bag, $12. Get them for holiday baking or snacking for any day, but you better get them quick. They will not last long. That is guaranteed. Your calendar announcements are always free, birthdays and anniversaries too. All you have to do is tell me so I can tell everyone else. And this today marks 24 years. I know that more often than not you know all that information by heart, but I got to tell it, just so you make sure you get everything here that needs to be. From there, funeral service announcements provided nightly by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Services will begin tomorrow morning at 11 for 74-year-old Maxine Boo Boo Carty of Sagersville. She passed away Monday of this week. The daughter of the late Chester and Helen Carpenter Carty. She's survived by brothers Lester Carty and Adrian Carty, sister Eileen Carty. And services again start tomorrow morning at 11 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home until 9 o'clock this evening. Services have now been set for 75-year-old Nelson Lovely of Gun Creek. He passed away Monday. The son of the late Ossie and Hortense Jackson Lovely. He's preceded in death by his wife, Janet. He's survived by sons Larry Jr. Salyers, Ronnie Lovely, Tim Lovely, and Todd Lovely. His sister Charlotte Elsie, his special friend Phyllis Tackett, 10 grandkids, 11 great-grandchildren, and a host of family and friends. Services for Nelson will start Saturday morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Visitation will be Friday evening after 5. Services set for Saturday at 2 for 70-year-old Dr. Thomas Allen Smith of Staffordsville, who passed away on Friday. Survived by his wife Linda Childers Smith, father Thomas Hilton Smith, son Brandon Smith, daughters Sarah Zamita and Rebecca Smith, a grandchild, his sister Nancy Murphy, brothers Larry and Randy Smith, and Ronnie and Jerry and Donnie Smith as well. A memorial service this Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Church of God Prophecy in Prestonsburg. And arrangements incomplete at this hour for 90-year-old Wilma Allen of Gifford Road. She passed away on today's date. Services to be announced at a later time by the Sayersville Funeral Home.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Hello, I'm John Kevin Holbrook, candidate for Circuit Judge in Johnson, Lawrence, and Martin counties. I'm running for Circuit Judge because you, the voters, deserve to decide who is best qualified to be your next Circuit Judge. I was honored to serve you as your District Judge for many years, and I'm ready, willing, and able to serve you as your next Circuit Judge. You deserve to have a candidate with several years of judicial experience for your consideration. You're hiring a Circuit Judge to serve you for the next 8 years, so please give this decision your most careful consideration. I trust your judgment as you have trusted mine. If I'm to consider myself the best candidate, It is because of my experience while serving as your district judge, and since then serving as a Mountain Region assignment judge. Additionally, I served as special circuit judge in our counties in 2003. During that time, I effectively fulfilled the duties of circuit judge, so I'm most capable of doing it for you for the next 8 years. Thank you, and I trust I've earned your vote by how I've conducted myself and worked for you as your judge.
Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Hello, McGoffin County voters. My name is Andrew Reisner. I'm running for Magistrate in District 1, but I'm ready to be the voice for everybody. I filed for Magistrate team to win and help McGoffin County grow and prosper, and I'll prove it to you when I'm elected. I promise to be fair and treat everyone equal. I promise to dedicate my heart and soul on being the best magistrate for District 1 and McGoffin County. Thank you for the ones who have supported me and continue to do so. I love District 1 and McGoffin County. Vote Drew 2022.
The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sagersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy. The convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service. And the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sagersville, Frazier's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that.
As meth, heroin, and fentanyl have literally exploded, there's not a single person hearing this that hasn't seen a family member or friend overdose or die, or hasn't seen their loved ones' meth-covered faces, knowing that their lives are being destroyed by some dealer who could care less. In just the past 8 years, I have taken 400 cases to state and federal courts, and my cases have led to 530 indictments. Every one of these cases have been successfully prosecuted with lengthy prison sentences. Many of my cases were adopted into the federal court system for the purpose of identifying and prosecuting the suppliers bringing this poison into our counties. As a result, we have been able to document well over 1,500 pounds of meth, heroin, and fentanyl that have been stopped from entering into our area. That's the law enforcement I want to bring to McGoffin County. That's the law enforcement we must have in McGoffin County. If we cut it off at the top, the rest will follow. Less thefts and overall crimes, less deaths, and less destroyed lives and families, and fewer children who are being taken out of their homes to be raised somewhere else. On day one, I will utilize my connections with Operation Unite, the DEA, ATF, and FBI, and with federal prosecutors to work jointly to aggressively combat our war on drugs. I have nearly 34 years of extensive training and experience in law enforcement. I'm a retired Kentucky State Police trooper and held many positions: senior trooper, detective, administrative sergeant, squad sergeant, and detective sergeant at Pikeville and the Drug Enforcement Section. And I am currently the narcotics investigator at the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. State law says anyone can be sheriff, with absolutely no training or experience required, and do nothing but collect taxes. You only have to win an election. But I know that now more than ever what we need is the exact opposite. A fair, hard-working, understanding, sensible, and most certainly qualified sheriff is what we need. And with your support, I promise to give everyone in McGoffin County exactly that. Please join my efforts and be a part of a positive change, and vote for Bill Meade, Republican candidate for McGoffin County Sheriff. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheryl Stalder-Cheney, podiatrist currently located in Sayersville, Kentucky. I've been servicing patients within Eastern Kentucky for the past 20 years.
Our feet are the foundation for everything we do, and whether you're suffering from fractures or injuries, need custom orthotics, diabetic foot care, sports medicine, heel pain, wound care, or anything else foot related, relief is just one step away.
Welcome to Hope Family Podiatry Center, where we take care of all of your podiatric needs.
Located on the Parkway next to Hope Pediatrics. just as quick as one arrives, it feels like the next is already about to begin. And Conley Tire doesn't want you to start any of the driving seasons unprepared. Be safe and sound and get there with the best offers on the best tires by the best manufacturers. All with service you've grown to trust. Go to conleytire.net or stop by in Staffordsville to find out more. Or give them a call at 297-2424. Back to headlines. This was the scene late last night on Rockhouse Fork Road off of New 460, a fiery crash that was reported to the Montgomery County Rescue Squad and EMS. The rescue squad responding to, I believe, 4 calls of crashes yesterday. This one was reported as a car being over the embankment on fire. After the call came into 911, I know of a resident who went to the area and found the vehicle as you see it here with no one else around and with no cell service, went back to their home to call 911 and verify exactly where the location was. Fortunately, I'm glad to report that the 2 occupants, the driver and a passenger, 2 men, had escaped the vehicle before the fire was completely engulfed in flames, suffered some injuries that were deemed not life-threatening, and refused medical treatment at the scene, at least initially. As for the car, you can see a total loss after being extinguished by the Sagersville Fire Department, which responded. One of the Montgomery County Rescue Squad's own was injured in a vehicle-related accident immediately thereafter, stopping at a local restaurant at the McDonald's and getting out of his rescue vehicle. At some point, was struck by another vehicle and then got back inside his after that vehicle left the scene, driving himself to the Montgomery County Rescue Squad base, where he was tended to by EMS and ambulance service personnel, who I believe transported him for his injuries, which were deemed non-life-threatening but still being assessed at that time. A couple of other headlines before I go any further. Breathitt County High School's head baseball coach has been indicted by a grand jury in our neighboring county on 12 counts, including tampering with physical evidence, voyeurism, as well as tampering with a witness, and distributing obscene matter to minors for a sexual video that he showed to a group of juveniles sometime back in May of this year. No other details were released except for the details that we were able to pull from a copy of that indictment. The coach himself, Alex Hamilton, the head coach of the Breathitt County High School baseball team. And to no surprise, the Fed raised interest rates today, another 75 basis points. It's the 4th time in a row they've done exactly that, setting a precedent unlike anything we've seen since the 80s. They say that's their commitment to raise rates further if they have to, and they will, they say, in an attempt to tame this decades-high inflation. And calling it no surprise, the new range of 3.75 to 4% is the highest level it's been since 2008. It was 3 to 3.25. Interest rates may, they say, need to go above 4.5, 4.6 or so before. Well, that was previously estimated to be where they might be capped. Now they're saying that they may very well exceed that 4.6% or so. So it's 75 basis points 4 times in a row, and that is literally unprecedented. They haven't done that since the 1980s. We are at a rate, as far as interest rates are concerned, that we haven't seen since the end of 2007, going into 2008, in those economic times. I have football scores to pass along to you, and a reminder about who's playing who in the postseason, which is this Friday night. I just simply am going to hold those until tomorrow, and as well as some other important news that I spoke of earlier that you'll be able to read about in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent before I see you. So let's wrap it up real quickly with your Licking Valley RECC 7-day. And there's a nice run of some nice weather in there. We're going back to the upper 70s. I don't know if anyone will hit 80 or not. I'm hoping so, just to say we did in November. I like it when that happens. 45 degrees tonight and partly cloudy skies with nothing more than a calm wind to wrap up your Wednesday. Oh, by the way, Powerball draws tonight, $1.2 billion or something. Just throwing that out there. You know, be a great anniversary present for your local news guy tomorrow if you wanted to throw $1 million his way. 72 tomorrow, fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. A beautiful, beautiful Thursday ahead. Mostly clear skies. We'll wrap it all up. We'll get a bit warmer still on your Friday. A little fog in the AM, 74 or so. 57 for nighttime lows, a little more mild certainly in the evening hours. Only partly cloudy skies is all you'll have to deal with, except for 57 beautiful degrees during the overnight. We will see sunshine return for your Saturday, mid to upper 70s for an improvement there. We do have to talk about what is right now a 20% chance of showers afternoon or so on your Saturday, but and mostly a dry day for the most part. But during the overnight, shower increases go up to about 60%. They linger into your Sunday to the tune of about 40%, but mainly like till 11 o'clock or so. So the bulk of any showers that we might see, and that we need, to be perfectly honest, we will see late Saturday and early Sunday and be gone. So a lot of beautiful weekend weather to enjoy. 75, partly sunny on your Sunday, and there's 3 pretty consistent days thereafter, 75, 72, and 70, Monday through Wednesday, mostly sunny skies each and every day. Partly cloudy skies at night each and every day as well, and hovering right at the 50-degree mark across the board. Very consistent, very, very, very beautiful. That's it for now. Good night. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.